joining us for Idaho Living today. We are here at the Village at Meridian with the beautiful sunshine, and we hope you have some fun weekend plans for your family. You know, you might be getting ready for Mardi Gras this weekend, and so we wanted to learn a little bit more about Mardi Gras, what it means, where it came from, and so we are excited to send one of our segment producers down to New Orleans to check all of these fun things out, and she took along two of her friends to kind of check out what it is. They went to parades, they got to see all kinds of floats, some of them we can't show on the air, but she did have fun nonetheless. Let's see how she did on camera as well as she does off the camera.
Hi, Johnna. We just saw the parade and it was crazy. Awesome. Super awesome. We wanted to show you our beads. And we did not have to take off our shirts to get them. Nope. And then we want you to see around all of the people. And oh, you can't see it. All of the trash. Lots of the trash. So, thanks for joining us. Bye.
That looked so fun. Yes, lots of trash, lots of crazy costumes, but I guess that's part of the fun. And so glad that you didn't have to bear anything to get these beads, girls. We're very, very proud of you. So if you're getting ready for Mardi Gras, don't forget, it is February 28th. It's to celebrate Shrove Tuesday, which is otherwise known as Fat Tuesday. And that's where you just party it up and eat all the fat you want or do whatever you want, because you're getting ready to go into Ash Wednesday, which is Lent, giving something up for 40 days. So we want to hear from you. Have you given something up for 40 days? And are you willing to share it on our Idaho Living Facebook page? We'd love to know about your experiences to inspire other Idaho Living viewers. So Crystal, Nikki, thank you guys so much for heading on down there and sharing some of the New Orleans experience with us. We do have a great show for you today. Coming up, we are working with our favorite makeup guru from Ulta Beauty. She is going to teach us how to apply the perfect eyeshadow for different occasions. In fact, at the commercial break right now, I'm going to go get some smoky eyes. Then we're talking about an issue that is sweeping the country, sexting. It's something that all of us parents worry about. And we've invited a Meridian police officer here who's also a school resource officer to share with us some ways to prevent this from being an issue in your home. Stay with us. Welcome back to Idaho Living. You know, you might be sitting there thinking you want a new look when it comes to your makeup, and the smoky eye is all the rage. Have you ever tried to do it on your own without instruction? Yeah, me too. So we brought in an expert here, Rachel Cobo, and she is from Ulta Beauty, and she's going to teach us how to get this amazing smoky eye that looks great, well enough that you can walk out the door. So Rachel, we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell us, how do we get that smoky eye?
Lots of blending.
Yes, so blending's key.
Yes, okay. Blending is definitely key for the smoky eye. Also, your color gradients is really important too. So starting off with priming the eyes is going to be really, really important so you're not getting the creases of your shadows. Something like this, like the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Okay. It's just a really nice eye primer, so it's going to stop your shadows from creasing and going anywhere, which is really, really important. So, okay. And then you want to apply an all-over shade on your lid, so something just like a skin tone shade, okay, basically, all over the lid from bottom to top. And then you start do a mid-tone shade next, all in the crease area. So we have, like on you today, okay, we used this one for all over. And then this one was your mid-tone shade, so we just did that all in the crease on the top just to warm it up and make it nice and easy to blend. And then we go in with the darker colors in the outer corner, just the outer corner, like a little V shape there. And then just continue blending, blending, and blending with a really fluffy brush, and that's going to be your smoky eye.
Now, I noticed you brought, like, unfolded this whole array of brushes.
I did.
How important do brushes play a role in creating the perfect look for your eyes?
Brushes are very important for a smoky eye, or any eye look for that matter, okay, even when applying your foundation too. For a smoky eye, any fluffy brush is going to be really good for the blending, and then your dense, shorter bristles to make the color really heavily deposited and just nice and dark.
Okay, so I did have to ask Rachel, how many times, how many eyes did it take for her to master the smoky look? And you said?
Hundreds. It's not a one and done thing. It does take a minute to practice, and I think people get discouraged when trying a smoky eye. Just keep up with it. There's no rules to makeup, so you can kind of just do whatever colors you want. And just keep practicing.
And one of the great things about that is the all hope is not lost, because you guys offer at Ulta Beauty makeup application lessons, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep, we sure do.
Okay.
We have an in-house esthetician who does all of the lessons and makeup applications. She is fabulous. Her name is Chrissy. So if you want to go in and see her, she is free to do that.
Okay, awesome, perfect. And do we make an appointment with her, or?
Yep, you can call Ulta and Meridian and book an appointment with Chrissy. It is $50 for a lesson and $40 for a makeup application.
That's wonderful.
But she will go over skincare, complexion, eyeshadow, lips, cheeks, whatever you need from her, she does it for you.
I love that. And I love to do one eye, have them do one eye, and then me do the other eye, so I can really test out my abilities, right? Okay, you did a couple other fun things too with, you know, when it comes to eyes. So how did you also, you added lashes, things like that, to different people. So can you tell us a little bit about what else you added? Yeah,
so for added drama for your smoky eye or whatever look you're going for, we have a pair of some false lashes. These are my favorite ones. I have them on today. They are the Wispies. A lot of people, again, get discouraged with false lashes because they're kind of hard to apply on yourself. So what you do is you just have to measure them to your eye, cut them to the shape of your eye, and then just use a very, very small amount of glue, let it get tacky, and apply it that way. But it's just going to add another extra level of drama to your makeup.
That is awesome. And we definitely want to leave you with a parting gift all the way from New Orleans for Mardi Gras. So there you go.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rachel. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks.
All right, go get those smoky eyes. Are you a parent? Then you will not want to miss this next segment. We've got a very special guest talking about something all parents must be aware of: sexting. And are you hungry for some love? We are traveling to Sur La Table and working with some aphrodisiacs. Aphrodisiacs, the kitchen, Chef Daisy, what more could one ask for? It is getting spicy here in the kitchen.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So we're here in the month of love and talking aphrodisiacs, and you've got a fun plate of foods that really kind of get things a little
isn't it?
moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of the aphrodisiac foods are associated with the vitamins and minerals that they have, really kind of boost energy, create relaxation. But we got some of my favorites here. Almonds are known to really, the smell of them kind of gets women relaxing and trusting and allows them to, right? Kind of euphoric. The honey, actually, I was interested to find out that it's why a honeymoon's called a honeymoon, because they would give honey mead to the bride and groom when they got married, and it would really create estrogen and testosterone boosting properties, which is kind of neat. And then
maybe you could have a honey bath tonight or something.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of really spice it up. And then we have basil. It's a stimulating aroma. It really gets your heart racing. It's mostly the smell of basil that's considered to be the aphrodisiac property.
I love basil.
Isn't it great? Bananas, of course, have a lot of potassium, keep you from cramping up, so they're helpful as well. Vitamin B, a lot of minerals in there that boost your libido too, which is kind of neat.
Vitamin B boosts the libido, right? Okay.
B for boosting. Avocados, a lot of times they're aphrodisiacs just because of their shape, but they also have high levels of vitamin E, which maintain youthful vigor.
Oh my gosh.
And then asparagus I was interested to find out have tons of vitamins, but a lot of folic acid too. And folic acid is one of those things you take when you get pregnant, and it really kind of helps things get going.
Wow. Wow. Who knew? Who knew? So we're going to kind of take the aphrodisiacs to a new level, because we're actually going to make something with a fun recipe during this month of love that you can whip up in your kitchen too. What are we making?
We're going to make chocolate espresso budino.
Ooh.
So chocolate is also a really popular aphrodisiac, and it's just simply an Italian cooked pudding.
Wow. I feel very Italiano.
Very Italiano. It's the country of love, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a cup of whole milk and a half cup of heavy cream. They're already mixed together in there.
I was going to say, it kind of looks thick. Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to add that to our pot.
Okay.
And then we're going to whisk in sugar, salt, espresso powder, cornstarch, and cocoa powder.
Wow. And this recipe, you can jump on over to our Idaho Living Facebook page and get this recipe and whip up some love in your kitchen tonight. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then we're going to add a couple of egg yolks just to increase that thickening quality. There's a little vanilla in there
I was
too,
going to
so
say,
they're not bad egg yolks.
What's the little brown stuff in here? Okay, it's vanilla. We're safe. Okay.
And then we're going to turn your burner on.
It smells so good.
Gotta find the right one.
Okay,
here.
you're gonna help us out here.
There
All
we go.
my notes are hiding your.
I apologize.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring this up to a nice simmer, and then we're gonna melt some chocolate in there and add a little bit of butter right at the end to really make it nice and creamy. So that as cornstarch and the eggs in there are really gonna thicken it up to that pudding consistency, and then the chocolate and the butter at the end are just gonna smooth it out and get it really beautiful and creamy.
Well, it's funny because I haven't made pudding for a long time, but you do cook it like this, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
I've made it for a
it's
long
easier than a
time.
box, and this will be way more delicious.
Ooh, love it. I can smell it. It smells so good. All right, and how do I know when it's ready?
It's going to start simmering a little bit,
Okay.
and you will start seeing it thicken up quite a bit. And
Awesome.
you can keep whisking it because you don't want it to burn in any spot.
We certainly don't want it to burn.
You don't.
I do not want proof that I cannot maneuver through the kitchen. Okay, and while this is getting to its consistency that we needed, you got all kinds of fun cooking classes that are nice for the month of love. You and your little Valentine can head on down, your little romantic love interest.
Yeah, we have a lot of really good stuff happening.
Yeah, that is so fun.
We've got chocolate classes, we have macaron classes, we have a lot of really beautiful date nights with steaks and really romantic
Ooh,
food.
what, do a lot of, is it mostly husbands and wives, or is it like girlfriends and
Anybody
stuff?
can come, yeah.
Cool. All right. Are we ready for the chocolate?
I think we're ready.
All right.
So we'll just toss those two in there, make a really beautiful pudding,
Oh,
and
my
bon
word.
appetit.
Bon appetit. Okay, and then when it's done, what do I do now?
You just chill it, put it in some parfait glasses, serve it with a little whipped cream. You're good to go.
Chill it, parfait glasses, add a little whipped cream, and we're good to go. Fancy. And again, you can see this recipe on our Idaho Living Facebook group page. And we'll be right back. You're watching Idaho Living, and if you have any youngsters in the room, I'm going to encourage you to encourage them to go out and play outside for the next several minutes while we talk about a very serious topic when it relates to your children, sexting. So let's get real about sexting and what that means and how it can impact your family and the lives of other people. So here to help us through this journey is Officer Ray Ellis from Meridian Police Department. You're also a school resource officer at Heritage Middle School. Absolutely. So first things first, has my son ever been in your office?
Not that I know of.
All right, that's good. That's good. Get the most important questions out. We are talking about a very serious topic. I was fortunate enough to come to a class that you taught just a couple of weeks ago, Officer Ellis, and it was shocking to me, but empowering. And that's what your plan is to do, right? Is to really educate people and parents. What is sexting?
One of the first things I tell parents is that when we talk about sexting, let's take the scarf off of it. What it really is pornography. So when a child engages in the act of sexting, they're really creating child pornography. And so we try to get parents and the kids themselves to understand that that's what they're doing. They've crossed that line. It's not just playing, it's not just having fun, but they've actually crossed the line over into criminal behavior. But it's more than that. It's not just the fact that they can get in trouble with the law, but there's things they can do to themselves and the impact that it has on the community around them.
Let's talk about impact, because when I was in the class, we talked about several examples. I think sometimes we put the veil over and we think, oh, this is not happening in my home or my school or my community.
Right.
And what do you say to that?
What I tell kids especially, and then when we have the group like we did in the evening, is that when a child engages in sexting, let's just say kids for now, when a person involved in engages in sexting, the behavior itself feels private, it feels safe, it feels small, because I'm in my own room, I'm in my bathroom, my bedroom, and I take a picture of myself and I send it to my desired person. So that feels very safe in and of itself, but the problem is that those images don't always stay private. Very often I'll have a young lady or a young man in my office and I'll set them across from my desk and I'll put a picture out and I'll say, look at that. And they'll look down and then the tears start. And I say, you had no idea that this morning that you'd be in my office discussing this image, right?
Wow.
And they're like, no. I said, because you didn't intend that I would ever see it. And that's the problem with sexting. You don't control it. Once you hit transmit, you lose control over it, it's gone. And so that's the problem with it. And then again, we looked at one other aspect, what I call the empathetic link, is that when a child engages in sexting, they create this child porn. They themselves may never become the victim of an assault, but those images are out there. And as I like to tease the kids, I say, you know, you can't tease me with sushi. You can dress it up as pretty as you like. You can fan it and wave. I'm just not moved by sushi. It just does not ring my bell. However, there are people that I know who love sushi, and they see that and their appetite is whet. And so the same thing is true with child porn. So when these kids create these images and they begin to circulate out there in the greater world, the person who sees those images may never find that particular child, but there's always a child nearby that then becomes prey to that person's lust. And so that's the empathetic link that we like to talk about, that when you create these images, pornography, and you feed it out there into the community, pornography feeds sex trafficking on the greater scale. And sex trafficking defined anytime sex is exchanged, especially with a child, for any kind of gain. And so those are the kind of things we look at, and we try to get the children to understand that their activities can impact.
Well, and I know, Officer Ellis, you also mentioned that there are kids, I mean, that we know in our own communities that have taken their lives because of the impact that this has had.
This does happen.
Right?
It does
so
happen.
we have to be real that this is happening in our own communities.
Right.
So
see, what happens is this, again, and this is when we showed the video, this particular series didn't happen here in our community, but we've had similar situations arrive out of the same basic backdrop, is that a young lady in this case creates the image, and circumstances change, the
sends it to her boyfriend,
affair,
right?
the relationship breaks down, and then their animosity gets involved. And so now the images get shared. And so once those images get shared, then the humiliation and the shame and all those other things come apart, because I portrayed these images privately and I intended it for your pleasure, whatever the case may be. But now those people who are my enemies have these images. And, you know, especially in middle school, body image is so important anyway.
Yeah.
And so when you have someone who's actually has images of your new body and then making fun of it, it can be very, very serious. And we've had students, even at our own school, who have had reactions to their images being out and people responding to them, and then having breakdowns on the other side and attempting suicide or overdosing on pills or trying different types of things. All these things are possibilities, and they do happen right here in our community. And so we try our best to make sure they don't happen.
And I think we are just skimming the surface, right?
Yes.
And so if parents are watching right now and they need more information, they need to learn more, they want to get involved, they want to make sure they protect, we become protectors, not predators, right?
That's the word.
Where do they go? How do we get help?
Well, you can always reach me at Meridian Police Department, and you can reach, or either at Heritage Middle School, and there's other officers that are involved as well. But the thing I like to remind parents is that one of the things that we like to focus on, especially as parents, is what I call the hardware. And so we will take our child's phone or take their iPad, or whatever the case may be, and I've had parents even say, well, I took a hammer to it, I broke it. And I said, okay, that's good. That's a great start if you have a child who's engaged in this behavior. But that's only step one. You have to go to the second step, which is I call the software. You have to affect the child's character. Because if you don't affect the character, it's too easy to go to just another mechanism to load onto their whatever their program may have been. And so that's what we have to do as parents. We have to engage in conversation. We have to begin to affect our kids' morals. I mean, good old-fashioned morals. Talk to our kids about what's right and what's wrong, and that just because something is common doesn't make it right. Okay. And so we have to engage in those types of conversations. And I encourage parents, especially if you have a child that's, say, 6th grade and older, you really want to have a conversation using real words, because that's what they're hearing at school.
I agree. Officer Ellis, thank you so much. I wish we had more time. We appreciate all that you're doing, and we can't wait to get a hold of you and learn more. So thank you so much.
All right. My pleasure being here.
We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us on this Friday for Idaho Living here at the Village at Meridian. We hope you've enjoyed the show just as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. You know, it is time for our Friday favorite picks. And so we're picking out some fun products or photos or things that we think our viewers would love to know about. Well, how many of you have seen this purifying peel-off mask in your Facebook newsfeed. I did too. I kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it. So I thought I would buy it and I would try it out for you and I to see how this thing works. So let me tell you first, it works. It hurts, but it works. Okay, so known as the ultimate blackhead buster, it's specifically formulated to unblock clogged pores by peeling back your blackheads, dirt, and spot-causing bacteria. Now, here's a quick little video. All the videos show you pulling down this mask and all these pores getting, all this, the dirt and stuff being pulled out of pores. It's absolutely fascinating. But its activated bamboo charcoal acts like a magnet to draw out the most deeply rooted impurities, while naturally ingredients kind of help to rebalance and restore your glowing complexion. So I have seen people on Facebook like posting pictures that they got this and putting this all over their face. They have no idea how bad this hurts when you pull it off. So it is pulling all these impurities out. I hope you'll try it. If you do, try it, post pictures, let us know what you think about it. It's like less than 10 bucks. So I think that you'll really enjoy it. So it hurts, but it works. All right, so if you have a product, service, maybe a photo, something you know that our viewers would love to know about, please send it on to me at idaholiving@kby2.com, because we'd love to be sure to give a shout out and try things that make your life easier. Speaking of making your life easier, hopefully you've enjoyed our Spread the Love campaign for the entire month of February. We've asked you, our viewers, our guests, our followers, to share their love in what they do. Maybe that is going on vacation or eating dinner with the family or volunteering at school or volunteering in our community. And while you're out doing that, sharing the love with a hashtag Spread the Love Idaho Living. And so we're going to leave you with a few little photos of some of our favorites of you spreading your love. Enjoy the photos. We'll see you here next week.
Promotional consideration was provided by The Village at Meridian, Village Coffee, and Ulta